What's poppin', everybody? Cerebral4, and I'm gonna show you guys the Mimikyu and Gengar GX deck with Vileplume in action. I know my deck video was very long, the longest deck video ever made. I just wanted to get a lot of those points across, explain a bunch of things to you guys. But the best way is to show you guys the deck in action. The best way for you to understand and figure things out is if you see how the deck plays and what you're supposed to do and the significance and function of every card. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to be playing first, I think, and we're going to be opening up with this Emolga here, my only basic Pokemon, but it works out nicely because, as you guys can see, I have the Brigitte in hand, and we'll be able to instantly search a bunch of Pokemon, search the Gengar, attach the Psychic Energy, and move Emolga on the bench. Now, as you guys can see, my opponent opened up with this big-ass Wailord fucking GX, Wailord and Magikarp Tag Team GX, the Pokemon with the highest HP, and this is gonna be the main focus of his deck. If he's running this Wailord, it's probably the focus of the deck. Either gonna be some sort of energy acceleration, move the energies around with Quagsire. Hopefully, it's not one of those troll Wailord decks. But it seems it is going to be an actual deck that attacks. He searched out the little whooper there. So it's basically Quagsire Wailord. He's going to try and get a bunch of water energies in play, move them around on that Wailord, and then attack. The Pokemon has decent attacks, I guess. Maybe not so worth it for the energy costs, but it is what it is. You can take advantage of that massive HP for sure. Now, if that 300 HP isn't a bitch enough, my opponent attached that buff padding tool, I think is what it's called, giving it 50 more HP. So now we're dealing with a 350 HP Pokemon. Wow. So let's see if we can do it, deal with that guy. I'm going to search out my Odysseus and get my own Tag Team GX in play, get this Gengar out, and attach the Psychic Energy here. And what should we do next? I'm going to use Nuzzly, Gather In, and search one of my Emolgas. That's what you want to do. Ideally, what I normally do is search out one, play one, then search another one, get them out of the deck, get them into play. You want to have only two out, just so that you have space for, of course, Vileplume, an additional Gengar or Tapu Lele. It really depends. So in this case, I played out another one, search another one, and we're going to use the communication, search out something. Let's see, get the Gloom, or maybe, yeah, let me just get the Gloom here. Why not? Evolve into Gloom next turn. Okay, so far everything is going according to plan. We're going to use Horror House GX, and my opponent will not be able to play any cards next turn. So he's basically going to be stuck with all the cards, all these 7 cards in his hand. Very good. And with any luck, I'm going to use Juniper next turn. We can attach another Psychic Energy and start using strong poltergeist attacks. So my opponent grabbed another Pokemon, grabbed another Wailord with his Stadium. I guess he could do that. Nuzzly Gathering, we're going to search out the last Emolga here. And I'm going to evolve into Gloom, and going to use a big Juniper. Discard a bunch of stuff, but we don't really need like many of the cards in hand. I don't need the Emolgas, I don't need Brigitte. We are losing one of the Vileplumes and Guzma, but my hope is that I'm going to see some of that same stuff in this hand. And we do. I see the Rare Candy and another Vileplume. So we'll be able to get out our trainer item lock in Pokemon, and the plan, everything is going according to plan so far. You guys can see this deck. If you build it consistently and if you do shit right, you don't really miss a beat with your lock-in effects. It can be pretty powerful. So Vileplume is out basically on my second or third turn, and from now on there will be no items my opponent can play. Unfortunately, we got a little bit unlucky and I didn't get to see a Psychic Energy or one of the letters. That kind of sucks. We weren't able to use one of our attacks here. It's too bad. I would have been able to do a lot of damage on that Wailord. Now the good news is this sort of Wailord deck with Quagsire It's one of those slower decks. It does need a few turns to get going, I guess. My opponent going to use a big Sycamore here, discarding a bunch of shit, but he doesn't have a choice. This deck is running cards like Max Potion, of course, and those become dead. Other trainer cards become dead as well. Item cards. I keep saying trainer cards, thinking back to the old school format. Yeah, Vilegar was really big back then. And yeah, he's gonna, if he's clever, he's gonna try and make sure he dumps a lot of his stuck items so that he gets rid of them. They're not stuck in his hand, and then I can't do a lot of damage. But it's gonna be very difficult, and he's also losing a lot of resources. He's also running that Rock Guard A-Spec. That was his A-Spec of choice, and that got dumped as well. We're going to use N though. I've got the Ns to sort of ruin his plan. As long as he has 6 prizes, he's going to be drawing 6 new cards. And with any luck, there are going to be a few items that get stuck there. So let's see, Poltergeist. It seems he has 3 trainer cards in hand. So we're going to do 150 damage here. Not bad. It's not the greatest either, but Wailord is a Pokemon you probably can't get a one-shot on, even with Gengar. Especially since it has that tool that gives it 50 HP. You can do 300 damage, you can do 250 damage, it's not so difficult, but 350 probably not, it's probably too good to happen. Okay, so my opponent brings out the Naganadel, however you pronounce it. Of course he's running this Pokemon to grab water energies. He has quite a few on the field already. He's got like 4. So he's getting them out there. And let's see, I'm going to use the Tapu Lele GX here. I could have benched the Gengar, but I want to grab another N here. I know that my opponent, uh, he wants to dump his cards, dump his trainers with that Zipstrika there, and make sure he doesn't have a hand so I don't do a lot of damage. But I'm going to ruin his plan with another N. Instead of 4 cards, you get 6. And with any luck, there'll be some trainers there. And let's see, let's put a Psychic Energy on Tapu Lele too. It might not be so bad. Since Wailord needs so many energies to attack, I can maybe even use Tapu Lele against it. So 4 fucking trainer cards in hand, so that's great for me. 200 damage, exactly enough to knock out this Wailord, and we get 3 prizes just like that. Oh yeah. So you guys can see, I've said this before in my Venusaur videos as well, but these tag team GXs, they're very high risk, very high reward. They can do a lot of good shit, of course, but if they die, you know, you get 3 prizes just like that. It's a hefty cost to pay for sure. Alright, so now all we gotta do is knock out another one of these Wailords. Now, my opponent goes with another Zipstrika play here, draws a lot of cards, and at this point he's gonna deck himself out. Like, I might even go with this strategy. He's gonna need a few turns to knock out my Gengar, and he dumped a lot of shit. He's been using a lot of Sycamores and a lot of those Zipstrikas, so I don't know what's going on with this deck, but it's looking very thin. Now, he does have a lot of water energies, though. He can finally perform his attack, do 180. He doesn't have quite enough to make the GX attack, or at least make it work. You need a lot of those water energies. You need basically 8 fucking energies to make that sprinting attack. It's not really worth it if you ask me. It's too many water energies just to do 100 on the bench Pokemon. You don't even hit the active. You're just gonna do 100 to all of the bench Pokemon. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's an attack that can win games. It's gonna win you the game, perhaps in situations, but the cost is just too high. 8 water energies, man. Damn. So we're gonna go with another N here. It's my turn. My opponent did a lot of damage here, but it's fine. As long as Gengar survives and we can make another attack, we're looking good. And let's see, I think I might even, let's use Poltergeist one more time. But then with all these water energies, I'll be able to make use of Tapu Lele with any luck. So 150 damage, not too bad. I do wonder though, with 8 energies, how much is that? Like 160? Yeah, I think I can kill him with Lele. And he might even go ahead and attach even more energies. So let's see here. He got one on Naganadel, and He has 7 water energies in play so far. He still hasn't attached, so he could get 8 and do 100 damage on my bench Pokemon, but that's not going to kill Gengar, and then I'm going to be able to knock his ass back. So he's in a really rough situation here. Wailord has a lot of damage on it. He probably shouldn't have promoted that Pokemon maybe, but I guess what else is he going to promote? Uh, all of his Pokemon are kind of key Pokemon there, besides Lele maybe, but that Pokemon gives out 2 prizes. So he goes for a Guzma play, bringing out my Tapu Lele GX in the active position, and I guess he's going to try and knock that Pokemon out. Okay, and checking out this card here, Magikarp Wailord GX, and indeed, the spreading attack, even if he gets 8 water energies, he can't KO everybody. Like somebody's gonna survive. He's gonna be able to get a lot of prizes, but he doesn't quite win, and then I can just finish him off. Now he plays down the Parallel City, and that's actually good. I'm glad to see that. I'm just gonna get rid of my little guys that would give easy prizes for his GX attack. He can't even perform it. He only has 7 water energies. He used Nekanadell's effect. He attached the water energy, so that's all he's gonna get. With 4 cards in hand, I do wonder what else he can do. Vileplume is locking out items. He's in a really rough spot here. So this is probably going to be his last move, and goes for a Super Splash. He can't even actually knock out Lele because you block water damage on your side since you played down the stadium to remove my Pokemon on the bench. But he scoops anyway. It was going to be my game. Really cool though. You guys saw the potential there and the power of Gengar when you get the lock and when you can do a lot of damage with poltergeist. Even a Wailord can get fucked up. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, share this with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one. What's up?